All right, we're gonna try to through the good times.
Mr. Wu with the one and only Chason Dreams. See, I got to put the dreams behind the name because that was.
All right, three,
I always thought that was fascinating.
1.
Let's go.
And we record. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Mr. Chason Dreams? No, I got to keep that dreams behind it.
You don't got to sensationalize me. I appreciate you coming.
Man, I have to sensationalize you, brother. I'm on our podcast with you and Chason, man. You know. Hey, that's what
Y'all
we do.
been real good at hyping me up.
But see, guess what? I'm the only one got a video of the guy you took shoes in the middle of the show and you started dancing in my show. You took my shoes, remember? So a lot of things we got connected. You know, I know about Chasing.
I thought that story's gonna come later.
Yeah, no, I can bust it open right now. You know, we got so many good memories, man.
So yeah, let's pretend like we don't know each other. But I guess we can just. I mean, it's impossible.
Let's see how it works if we don't know each other. Let's just see.
Yeah. All right. What's your origin story? What schools did you go to? Where'd you grow up? Things like that.
Well, Mr. Wu, for the ones that don't know, I'm originally from New York, Bed-Stuy, New York. I was born there and raised in Alabama, age of 5. Went to Fuse Elementary.
Why Fuse?
We stayed on the west side. Well, it started off Days and Learns, then Fuse, but we lived on the west side, man, majority of my whole life. So those were my elementary schools.
Gotcha.
And junior high, you know, I got into a little too much trouble.
Yeah.
So I had to get on the majority program. So
What kind of trouble?
Well, you know, I just kept getting in fights and stuff like that. Really? I really didn't like people who thought they was bad bullies. So, you know, I was always...
I could see that.
Bullying bullies.
You know, bully, like an anti-bully hero.
Yeah, you know, I don't like nobody to mess with my big homeboy. Nothing like that. Or mess with my homegirl.
Scrappy.
Yeah, so, you know, I got to see if he can fight. And when you know you're young, you want to see who get the rock off your shoulder, who the baddest. So if somebody thought they were bad, I wanted to see if I was badder.
Well,
so, you know.
Listen, that's dope. And also too, what I do in my mouth. So, whenever I reached out to you, I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
You always you're a funny jerk. Like you're the coolest jerk on the planet.
Well, I appreciate it, but your humility was like, I was like, cool. He took that punch. See, some people can't take punches in the face. They can't. The pride, their ego is like, man, what are you talking about?
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
And your humility led to us and this and maybe hopefully more.
It's like man, some things that people, you know, you take wrong and take all out of proportion, and then you don't even have to.
Their feelings.
Yeah, and then you know when you deal with the youth, like I deal with a lot of the young youth. I have to. That's how I try to prepare them for not to when they run into bullies or people they think hurt their feelings.
Don't just snap.
Yeah, don't just snap and think everything just against you. You utilize it for what it's worth and keep going because it always turn out. You know, probably could be a blessing or whatever.
Exactly.
You know,
might end up being your best friend.
Exactly. So you know, you don't just take everything all out of content just because people express themselves. Because I know I'm a person who love to express themselves. So you know, a lot of people take me. You know, what I say might think I'm trying to hurt their feelings, but I'm not. You know, I always just be blunt and try to speak the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and guess what? You get the respect at the end of the day.
That's right.
So
when you're just honest.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the schools that you went to. Now, I know you through entertainment. You're a full-fledged.
That started off in high school. So
okay.
You got to get to Lanier High School.
Talk me about that.
Buddy!
Okay,
and then
shout out
like,
to
man,
Lanier.
Yeah, big shout out to all the poets in the house, man. I promise you, big shout out to them because that's where like my career started at.
Really?
Yeah.
High school was a big market. It was for me too.
Yeah, and I mean literally.
It's like a lot of people that you could reach kind of quick.
Quick, and I mean you got so many options media because you're in high school. So I mean, here I come, this hot young kid in the high school, you know,
dancing.
Yeah, but before the dancing, you know, that was all God and the blessing. It started when I, you know, actually, you know, being in the game, actually. So yeah, and it coming out of that area, and near a lot of them, the 12th grade, they had parties. So I was the young kid hanging with the disciples. We go to the Kershaw Y. Some of the disciples we want to fight some of the Bloods and all that there. So I see, you know, Carver over there dancing, and who in Carver was Poodoo and King South them dancing. So I'm from the near. I want to go see what they talk about. So I boost up and we go over there. Next thing you know, I'm in the middle. So I got the show out. Now it's like it just ended up.
You got something to prove.
Yeah. So led from that and weeks on, awesome. It come from, you know, either you finna do this game stuff or you done sparked off something in the school or dance group, because the guys who jumped in to help me dance that night, they wasn't in no game. They were just like, man, you got some skills, because I'm pop locking and stuff, you know, the New York coming out of me.
When dancing was celebrated.
And and everybody had fun, man. So I'm telling some of my game members, like, man, we got all the women. So they loving it. So one of the head game members, Mike G, he's just like, man, you just get the girls. You whatever you need, I got your back. You just get the girls, man. I like that. So you know that led to.
And how old were you?
I was like 17 at that time, man. It was
so then you were like in 12th grade or about to leave high school?
No, I was got in high school right at 16.
Gotcha.
And my 10th grade year, by February, I turned 17, and it's like I'm maturing with the 12th graders. I'm always partnering with older kids, and they had that respect for me. You know it's all what you bring to the table. And you know, when I started the dance group, the Freak Some Boys, it went from that to I quit my first job at McDonald's for my first show because they wouldn't let me off. I told them I had a show. I walked 4 buildings down on Fairview, lose my job, and walk 4 buildings down. Wow. And DJs, we had a big concert out there, and I ended up performing. But that performance led to who I am today. Really? You know, like big time, man. You know, so I couldn't. It was like McDonald's did not hold me back. You know, like what they tried.
They ought to be flexible with.
They at that time they wasn't no flexible. They was either you for the work here or you not.
McDonald's should be flexible with dreamers. Man.
Yeah, but I'm glad they. You know, did what they did, and I did what I did because I saw a bigger dream hitting that stage, and that would lead to this, you know.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, definitely there's people that like can create and that are talented, and at the end of the day, it's about making people smile, entertaining people, and not everybody can do that.
Exactly.
There's like, and it's like, I think the balance to being a good Denzel Washington or Will Smith or Jamie Foxx is they're humble enough to know how over it can be, but they're driven enough to not let you get in their way.
Exactly, like, and that's like my whole model of life. Like, man, you know, you run through so many walls, which I have, but I was able to, you know, when you run into walls, man, it's like you can't think this wall is here to stop you. Yeah. You never know what's on the other side.
For a reason.
So by the time you...
That's the way I feel about traffic jams.
Yes,
I'm like, hey.
You never know.
You never know.
So where there's a will, there's a way. You just have to keep going each and every day, man, you know. And that's what I try to do, keep going each and every day. I mean, my past has been my strength. All the people that even laughed or, you know, whatever. Yeah. I think that what made me stronger, Chason. Really? When I run into the people that take me for a joke.
Yeah.
You know that
because you dance.
Yeah, if they stopped taking me for a joke, guess what? That would have weakened me. Every time I felt like somebody laughed or had something, I'm coming back harder and harder and harder.
You got to get booed.
Exactly. So, you know, in the Playboy era, everybody know that was a character that you just not finna stop. He gonna come around consistently.
I definitely.
You know?
Well, all right. So, I guess let's start with when you started putting, you know, words on tape and music and just like becoming part of who you are today, the pre-you, the Playboy.
And that's when I could say, literally, I want to thank you, my man, like literally for real, like not saying it to me because you know we got that like we don't know each other right now.
What kind?
So, but I really thank you because you was one of the first producers coming out of the dance thing, and it was like the guys who were dancing with me, you know, they kind of really didn't believe in we finna go bigger at school, you know. Some just not taking what we doing serious. So, I'm like, man, we finna graduate. We got to get ready for a CD.
So at what point did I meet you? Because I remember
right in my 12th grade year, really? And it's like I'm graduating, and after that,
so the Freak Some Boys was
we were still hot, but it was like I'm trying to involve into this group.
Freak Some Boys was created when?
Right in my 11th grade year. It's like the Origin Freak Some Boys got hot. We already started the Freak Some Boys. We run into Origin, you know, and that's when it became Origin and the Freak Some Boys, and you know, and it got bigger from there because Origin was a rap group, one of the first hip hop or bass groups or whatever in the city. That
I can definitely say that.
And by
was
them
like
picking us,
yeah.
you know, like, hey, that man, because at the same
It
time,
was like Mike C.
Mike C always was the hottest DJ probably.
Yeah.
Man, that's a whole nother movie,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
But the origin thing, it was like, you know, they wanted me and TCP wanted me. And I'm around these Atlanta artists and Montgomery artists. And my mom was like, hell no, you ain't going to no Atlanta. You gonna finish school. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, mama, the contract, the money, what these guys talking about? Mama was studying that. You know, because I even had Usher manager wanted me to audition for one of his videos. So it was like a lot of stuff came to me.
Y'all don't realize this dude is a dancer.
Like
first.
really, yeah.
That's the way I honestly feel, bro. That's when dancing, and I know a lot of people are laughing, but that's why I kind of like joined, not to go into that, but that's why I had no real constraints joining you that night at the Dawson Center.
Yeah,
using your shoes
off because you're like
using your shoes.
Yeah, man. Then look, that
and the girl shoes, like bumped the head up, didn't it?
Yeah, you slammed the girl. You trying to pick her up your real freak some boy.
Yeah. See, the freak some boys can pick them up.
Yeah, see, that was too much ass for you right there. You fell right over. Like I'm like, no.
But bro, I love the art of dance. It was kind. I guess now that I look back on it. It was my first expression of like creativity, maybe dancing, I guess.
And all the people be around you enjoying themselves. It brings something out of you, man. Then it was like that night we had these patent leather orange shoes, and I got Foot Locker to order 15. I got Foot Action to order some. So all the schools, all the shoe stores ordered the shoes because we had this group and everybody was gonna wear orange.
That's right.
So I was like,
y'all made orange like.
Yeah, it became the front center of Montgomery, and to this day, I'll put a little orange on there. Gonna say, "Oh, he just like Auburn because he wear orange." But that it goes a long
I had
long
an orange outfit of yours or something that you gave me for something for a show or something. I was in a van. He was like, "Here, put this on." I was like, "All right."
Because it's like back then you had to have. It was like with games. Each game felt like they had a color, right? So, and I'm still coming out of that era, and it's like, Origin like the orange, I'm good. They like the orange, so, and I was like, I like loud colors, maybe green or lime green or orange or whatever, but orange was the best color for us, not being like I'm an Auburn fan, that really had nothing to do with the orange. I'm just a football entertainer. I love football, and I played football, one of the hottest cornerbacks in the city. I just gave it up to entertain, so it's like, the orange played a good thing about just being a part of the group. Like we, for brighter days, we was that.
It definitely.
Group. Yeah.
It definitely was. It was definitely like orange and airbrush.
Yeah.
Had its movement around.
Like you had to be bright.
It was shops.
For a minute, Montgomery just was on dark colors. Like Montgomery, you didn't have on black or or something like that. You just
plain.
Yeah,
it was
man.
Very plain around here.
That orange brightened the city up to this day.
So that was like bass music, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And y'all should definitely go check that out on YouTube. I'm sure there's some stuff on YouTube.
Man, I'm sure it is.
Origin the Freak something, boy.
I don't know now because
I guarantee there's stuff on YouTube or somewhere. There's videos somewhere.
Well, I know I have a lot of video
tapes
that I didn't release because it was really Origin the Freak Some Boys, but we never set up like a Origin the Freak Some Boys YouTube page. I went from that going so hard with Playboy, just my life, I just tried to keep up with my life, which my life gonna go back into all of it,
We need to get it uploaded sometime.
Yeah, I really do because I got the VHS tapes. Like, yeah, man, like literally, even the show at the Dawson Center. Like, I don't know how I ended up being so young and having so many cameras because you remember the little Kodak cameras going getting developed.
You damn sure.
Yeah, man, I always had a camera.
I was the same way, dude. I had a $50 camera I bought from somebody, and I did atmosphere, and I got tapes now that I've said to myself, I want to sit and just log.
Yeah.
Like sit and log, and I know I'm gonna cry. I'll probably be depressed. I almost don't even want to log them. I want somebody else to do it, and then I want to watch them when I can edit them. Because if I watch them, I know it's gonna be some stuff. I'll be laughing, cry, like, man, family stuff, but
see all of that right there, with the man going to CVS and on Fairview getting those little cameras, $6-7 cameras, then going getting them developed pictures after pictures after pictures, led to all that. Then I end up coming out with the DVD, 2006, The Gutter and the Gump, the First Street DVD, Montgomery City. And at that time, I really didn't know how to structure a DVD out, but I knew I had to film.
You had to put out content
Yes,
somehow.
and then therefore I was gonna go to Dan Black, but he was so high in editing it, I couldn't. And I found another guy named, but anyway, his company named VPU. They helped me, got it organized, and man, I went from there to, I had the hottest song, Freak Low, out already. I just knew, okay, with one hot song, what can you do better? What can come next? And it was like Freak Low was lit. I'm making money with Freak Low, but it was like, what this ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is not it. Like I know it's something else bigger. And I was starting, and I put that footage together, came out with that DVD, and literally went Trump selling like I was thinking the Master P era. Yeah. So I set up on FabView. And when I set up on FabView, it's like I made $800 like a day. Like do you know how I went home? $800 don't sound much now, but back then, 2006, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like, whoa. So I knew what I went, pressed up another 1,000 DVDs. And
that's back when people were still
exactly. So you think about a DVD, I'll go get another DVD.
That was when like
$15 you can buy a DVD movie, $15. So some areas people gave me $20 a DVD. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's so exclusive to
and the margin is like you got maybe $2 in but the time and the content is what really costs.
Man. So it's like from city to each town to throughout the state of Alabama, I'm gonna just say, to me, I thought it was a lot of money, which back then it really was, generated about $60,000. And that's like DVD money. This wasn't no CD money. This DVD trunk selling money.
So now, what are you doing now,
Mr. Like Wu? Now.
All right. First, Origin of Freak Something Boys. Then you went to Playboy. Now, Mr. Wu.
Exactly. So it's like one thing I learned about the game.
You do have to reinvent yourself.
And if you don't reinvent yourself with the game just gonna run circles around you.
That's right.
You literally be laying in the bed. You might well look up at the ceiling and just watch. That's because if you don't reinvent, DJ Shadow called me king of reinvent. He hit me up and said, "Sir, man, you is now the king of reinventing." I said, "Why you say that?" He's like, "Man," he's like, "You don't never get left behind with time. You just." You go with things, and I start understanding what he was saying because I didn't understand what I was doing. I'm just doing. Then he broke it down to me, and I start understanding, okay, you mature, which I know, okay, I love the rap, I love hip hop, that's gonna always be in me, but, turning 38, and I kept saying, like 10 years ago, I said, man, when I get about 40, I'm gonna do the blues. When I get about 40, I'm gonna do the blues, some Southern Sergeant. I was raised up on that kind of music. So, going through the music, hip hop stage, I see it and hear it. But my last song I recorded with Playboy was gonna be the BBW song, bass track, it's a bounce track, New Orleans type of bounce track. And I love that type of sound, but that just wasn't it to me either. And it was like, okay, how can you reinvent right now, be bigger and better than Playboy with yourself? And it's like, it's already there. You Terry Wu, you Mr. Wu. Run with it, go. Because I didn't want to use that name Playboy doing Southern Soul music. It didn't match. It didn't even, think of Playboy, you still gonna think club, dancing, go get it, so that fast lane dude.
Southern Soul is like, explain to me,
I think like now, through all the trials and tribulations like I've been through in life, I can put it all together now in songs. Even the 5-6 years I kind of was in that's down, but that comes from like when my mom passed, man. It was like that's it's deep, and I couldn't bounce back like I thought I could and wanted to. It took a lot out of me, and it was like, because I'm kind of be there for my sisters and, family, and I'm being there for so many people, and I'm holding all this because I'm the only son. So it was like so much I'm holding in me, and trying to be there for my family. Then it took a whole lot out of me. I didn't want to hit no stage. That's my biggest fan. That's what was motivating me to go. You know, you can't be stopped. You do, my son, you go, do your thing. If I'm down, she gonna lift me up. You know, this you can do this. So it's like I didn't have that anymore. And it was like, I felt like life was going down because Shout had just got killed. And then the 2-3 years later, my mom died, you know. So it's like everything where I was growing up and then prepare myself emotionally for until my mom, it was like I started preparing her, you know, but my spirit is, that's when I recognized the power of my spirit and my faith right then, because, you know, with my mom, she was in the hospital at Baptist, man. We stayed up there like a month, like 2. I was getting so tired of being in the hospital, and I telling my sister and family, these doctors not gonna be able to do nothing for my mama. You know, she had 13 open heart surgeries, fell on a tumor in the brain, you know, paralyzed on the left side. So I called, you know, I needed my pastor. I was telling them I didn't feel like no doctor, all this, you know, a doctor ready to give up. My pastor walked through the door. I'm in the lobby room watching Auburn lose. And I'm like, oh man, you know.
Big Auburn fan.
Yeah, and my pastor walked right past me. He finna turn, and I seen his shoulder. And I said, Pastor Terrelli. And he turned, he said, God told me a member of mine needed me. I said, man, my mama needs you right now. And then I forget where the room at. Then he's like, calm down, just take me to her. Wow. We go in the room, and he said he wanted to introduce everybody to who he was. He said he needed everybody to get around the bed. And my sister got around, but he told them to get on the other side. I need to be by him and my mama, between them two only. So we get to doing this heavy, good prayer. He pray, man. He pray. My mom jump up, woo, you know, and she jump up, and I lay her back down. It's kind of like it was scary, but it wasn't. But she had tears in the eye. And then, you know, after we prayed everything, which the doctor said she was going to pass at any given day in the hospital. Well, she didn't. She wasn't paralyzed no more on the left side. She ended up walking out of the hospital. You know, with all that that went on, you know, he gave us more time to prepare for her, which, you know, that it was like, man, something real deep
so
within
the
that.
Said that
yeah, she was ready. Yeah, you talking about like lungs fail, paralyzed on one side, tumor in your brain. You know, had another open heart surgery in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Kidney failure, all kind of stuff that you just going wrong. And when he came and did that prayer, my faith was so hard, like, because I knew no doctor could not heal her. You know, and I knew it was just going to be God and God himself. And he sent his worker, and, you know, everything. It was amazing, man. To like, this is my first time really expressing it for real to anybody like that. Like, I really never, you know, talked about that. Because people would be like, man, what happened to you? You know, when I jumped back on the scene, and it seemed like I just popped out of nowhere to some people who just now starting to do music, who just now starting to do parties, you know. And then when I jumped back on the scene, it was like, whoa, where this guy come from? Then some people like, oh Lord. So you're like, because I'm coming back now, I got to do parties, but not only parties, I got to go up against the big heads in the city who doing parties. I can't mess with no little cats. If I'm gonna do it, you got to go straight to the big heads, you know, and they're gonna be just like that. You're gonna lose some, you're gonna win some.
So you're saying that when your mother passes, when it helped, you kind of get motivated to go ahead and come back out.
Yeah, and it's like, and what I'm saying is, it wasn't easy, and it took some time. You know, a couple years it took some time. Man. Yeah, even to be successful now, man. Like, you know, fan club picked back up. Then I had, you know, Playboy going so hard, and I'm out there doing the music, doing the parties, doing this, doing that, and then till I got to the point where, you know what, you keeping your name in the know. So everywhere somebody go, they're gonna hear your name somewhere, regardless how you bouncing back. You putting your name back out there in the know till people starting to ask, who is that guy? Who is that guy? And that's when you know you're somebody, because somebody be able to explain, who is that guy? Oh, that's such and such. Oh, that's Playboy. Oh, he did this and did that. You feel me? Because I was doing stuff at such an early age till it was like the people who forgot about me had a story about me. So that led to other people until now, you know, after the Playboy thing. And I was like, man, with the Southern Soul, I can go deep into my life. I can put it in the music more, you know what I'm saying? Like the pain, relationship wise, trial and tribulations in the relationship. You know, it's just so much I got that I'm gonna bring forth with the Mr. Wu thing to this really gonna be the final and go on out of this thing with it, you know.
I like it. So, how much music have you laid down?
Right now, man, I got about 5 songs with.
It's Mr. Wu.
Yeah, it's Mr. Wu, and just so it happened, the first one ended up being like this hot
All you need is
track.
one.
Yeah, one. That's all you need is one. And Woman, for all y'all listening, y'all go download that Woman, Mr. Wu, Woman. And man, it's like that song's so hot, like it's picking up so fast, and I love it because I love the guitar. I always was a fan of guitar players.
Right.
Like I always want to watch guitar players just play because my grandmama, you know, was raised us off BB King. You know, BB King is the king. So, you know, and I always liked it. So it was like,
that's dope.
Yeah.
So your music now, what would you describe it as? This like the sound of it, like how? Because I know that you rap, and now do you rap sing?
No,
like
it's
I gotta
like,
just
yeah,
hear it.
it's like,
I gotta just hear it.
Yeah, I'm like
we're
this
gonna put a link
grassy.
in the description so people can hear it.
Yeah, and it's like this, you know, this crunk soul guy.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
soul.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm like a crunk soul.
that
I'm still gonna make you dance. I never lose that about myself. What I'm originally here for.
I like
I'm
that.
gonna make you
Crunk
dance.
soul.
You know, yeah.
I like that.
So you know, I'm not
that
the
was a
sad
drink.
singer.
I would order that for sure.
Yeah,
that's
crunk
like
soul.
me.
Yeah.
All
Give
that
me one of them crunk, two double shot crunk souls
to the back.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, man, it's like. With that, man, I think it's like gonna be really amazing because all the Southern Soul singers, they coming to me like, man, I love your sound. Like, I'm like, man, y'all know I ain't no singer like y'all, but they like, man, you don't have to be. And I'm like, I know that because, you know, when you really a real blues and real gospel, they don't judge if they know how to sing or not. When you do gospel, it's just what you singing for the Lord. You just what you feeling. Original blues is the same way.
Right.
People pick guitars up and they just freaked out.
You heard their passion.
Yes, so that's where I'm at.
And if you could sing, it was like cool, but it didn't make you really no extra. You know, then it was like, okay, this is like Etta James type.
Exactly.
You can still be a blues singer and just sing from
the hottest with that, having a voice like that. So I'm like this party crunk soul. But, you know, I'm going to give it to them deep. But, you know, I'm always had that vibe where I want people to, you know what I'm saying, feel themselves. I'm not like the sad song. Far from that. Unless I'm thinking of something, I need to hear something.
No,
you know.
Man, we gotta make some music together.
Exactly. That's why I say you give me one of them things. I know out of anybody in the city, anybody in the state.
We need to make one fresh.
Yes. I will be able to make. Matter of fact, let's tell everybody we're gonna make one go live, a Southern Soul song live. Yeah, your man with the guitar. We're gonna sit right.
Dalton Rosen is one of the best I've ever worked with.
And I saw him on your podcast. Yeah,
that kind of like
had the guitar with him, and he was a heavy set guy.
You talking about JP?
I don't know. Now you confusing me now when you get there. Yeah, but he had the guitar. He was on the show with you. And I know he was playing. I said, man, that man playing that guitar. Yeah, so I know you know somebody.
Oh, yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm willing to do that. We can go live right on the spot.
You gotta go. I gotta link you with Bradley at the range, 231. Yeah. You heard of that?
Man, 231. I was just down there last week. I was 231. Yeah, I was just down there 231 about a week ago.
I ain't never been.
Yeah.
But I met with the owner, Bradley, or one of the owners, or I don't know if there's other, but I'm just saying he seems like a very cool, open guy.
Yeah.
I think we could turn that place up, bro.
Hey, ain't no thinking in it. We will. Ain't no thinking in it. We will.
Dude, I look back on it and I got to give you props. You were a fantastic marketer out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really get into marketing until I've always rounding folks up because I also at Lee, I had a party and I had neon flyers and they actually called a gent because he had to clean all stuff up and he was pissed at me.
Man, I had to really thank God for that moment in my life because that was like high school and it's like I got to freak some boys, but I'm meeting all these people. Then I run into Michael London. Like, okay, I meet him. Then he's like this big promotion. The guy got all this promotion. Next thing you know, I'm working for him when he know I like to do high school parties. He said, well, how about you like to take your game to another level? And I'm like, what's that? Next thing you know, I'm promoting 8 Ball and MJG, you know, so all of my peers, they like, where you get all this stuff from? I can come to the school, I'm passing out posters, CDs, everything. As long as they getting free stuff, that was making them love me more.
Right.
You know, every club I walked to, guess what? I ain't finna pay to get in no club because of who I am. But now it's not only because of who I am, it's what I got and what I do. So if I got an artist come in town and I'm taking them to the club and they like this young guy right here, so you know it really didn't faze me. We in the club, but I got posters and CDs, so everybody wanted to do it, pass stuff out, you know, regardless of who it was, Mystica or whatever. We got free stuff. So guess what? At that time, your peers gonna do love you. Man, what you gonna do the next time? What you gonna do that? And that led from that to being with Mike C. Like Mike C he taught me the whole game. He didn't never sugarcoat like nothing out of his mouth. He like, you remind me of me. This is what you gotta do.
So shout out to Mike C.
Yeah, man. We just from him and Mike London, man, those were two of the best promotions, man. If y'all know who Mike London is, that DJ Shadow. You know.
DJ Shadow.
Yeah, he's a hard head, like really, really hard head.
But he's a pioneer. Rap,
a super pioneer
around here for sure.
Not just around here.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
he's globally.
For me personally,
yeah,
he's definitely known more than just around here. But me, I'm just a pro local guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like locally, you got to know who. Like it was him, Michael Long.
For radio.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different kind of
people. Yeah, because I mean, but those were two powerhouses. Sure. Michael Long and Michael London. They was at the time. They was two powerhouses. And I can remember
record pools, bro. You could like go.
That's
to
what I'm saying.
See, like, I can remember seeing T.I. just walking around.
Exactly. I did the first T.I. project. I was like, man, you know, I'm with this bass, but you know, my soul is this rap and hip hop. And I'm like, man, this man is snapping so hard. And it's like I never since from the first T.I. album. Yeah, I don't care what he put out.
I know, best
album. I never found nobody else, not even T.I., to put another album out that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I thought I was the only one that
the one song what made me love him so much.
He had that one beat with the Neptunes on it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then that one he had with Tip versus T.I. I felt like that was so much of me. Yeah, because I was like, I'm always facing myself. Should I do this? Should I not? I was judging myself so hard at that time when T.I. came out with that song, him versus himself. It was like, oh man, this guy here. You know, some people just, you know, different. And when you see different, look to this day, we still talking about a T.I. and he was born different. Yeah, he's a king of what he do. So you know.
So with Mr. Wu, what's your goal with Mr. Wu?
My goal for Mr. Wu is make everything come back up and be a whole. You know, make it all add up to, you know, even with the foundation with the kids, you know, my Me and Minds Foundation. If you don't know what that is, that's a youth program that I run basically yearly round, but we really get kicked off in the summertime. Been going along about 5 years now. I started it off with doing dad and daughter dance competition. That's
right. You do the dad. That I really wanted to bring that up. I'm glad you did. I was thinking about it. It's like 10 things running through my mind right now. You. That's when I was like, dude. There's some people that have been around here that, and this is what kind of pisses me off about local, just politics and people, because they don't understand micro influence.
Exactly.
They don't understand it. We've been around here 20 plus years or whatever, creating content, affecting people, entertaining people, whatever. Not to say we want special treatment, but just to say that like TV and radio and billboards is not the primary factor anymore. And people are slow to understand that like we have influence, same way that you used to have, you know, the same way here. And it's, you know, I think content creators around here should unite because we do get a lot of attention, and the market share, there's not much attention to be got around here. There's only 200,000 people here. So, you know, that was my little bit of a rant about that. But
yeah, it's amazing, man, when you get, you know, when I did it with the dad and daughter competition and we won, I saw, you know, a smile on my kid's face that like I knew this was gonna be, I got to continue this because not only they happy, the people around them, I'm seeing other kids that want to do this and want to do that. So I started the foundation with Me and Minds Foundation, but it led from that to, it was a lot of young boys, young youth, just the youth that needed father figures in their life. Like, you know, just, you know, mothers, just single mothers out there, you know, that got these sons. So I'm like, where can I utilize myself at now in my community? You know, I always did like supported Stop the Violence program. I mean, even with Lanier, man, like I took 20 guys to the city hall council meeting. I tricked them like we were Scarface. I said, man, we're going to wear suits. Everybody wear suits Friday. We're going to be like the black Scarface. So with them 20 guys, guess what we end up doing? Leaving the school, they like, where we going to go? I said, man, we're going to city hall. So we had William Boyd up there, everything. He, talking to the guy, telling them what we're going to do. They was like, okay, we're going to go. But what we went for is to get a new track around Lanier. And they ignored us when we was at the meeting and everything. You don't see 20 black young men sitting in there with suits on. You don't see this every Tuesday at no city hall meeting. Right. So they ignored us at first. Then we, I felt like our feelings were hurt. And being the man I am now, just as the young man I was then, I spoke up like, hey, they like looked at me. They like, excuse me? I'm like, y'all don't see 20 men in here, young black men with suits on. Y'all just gonna ignore them? So they was like, well,